How are you doing? I hope you've had a really good week. Let's talk you through some of the things that go through my mind when I'm bringing things into my house. I'm very cautious as to what I bring in because everything I bring in is taking away from some of the space. Some of the space that I love is going to that item. Some of my time and energy is going to that item. And so I thought I'd just talk you through how I manage all of the things in my house like a boss. And when I say like a boss, I'm not being arrogant. I'm literally managing it like a boss, like a manager, like a CEO. And I kind of want to walk you through some of the processes I go through. Let's put our management skills to the test. Imagine there's a scenario where I have a business and I'm looking at the business and it's no longer as profitable as I think it should be. Something is not quite right. So I think, let me look at my books and see where my money is going. And I've come across 3 types of workers. I'm investing money into these workers and I'm just not sure that they are giving me back what I'm investing. Let me just put it to you, what would you do with these workers? So I have 3 workers. I found out when I'm looking at my books that I have this worker that I'm paying him every month. He shows up on time. He does the job fantastically. Cannot fault him. On days when we have to work late, he stays and work late. He doesn't even ask for overtime. He is a workhorse. I mean, literally, if this guy were to disappear, I don't know what I would do. I'm paying him every month and I do not begrudge it. He is my hardworking worker. I really don't know what to call him. He's my workhorse. So I'm looking more into my books and I find I have another worker. This one is a lawyer and I'm paying him every month. He's a lawyer. He's getting paid handsomely. But I realize I only need this lawyer once a year to do my taxes. Doesn't look like a good investment of my money, but he's on the book and I'm just thinking, wow, we've been doing this for years now, paying this lawyer for a job he does for us once a year. Is this a good investment of our money? And then the last one I'm seeing is a doctor. I hired this doctor like about 4 years ago to do employee assessment, health assessment. He came in, he did the job. Gone, I haven't seen him. I don't even know where this doctor is anymore. And still he's on my book. Somebody forgot to take him off his book. So I'm paying a doctor. He's receiving my money. He's not even saying he's receiving my money. But the job has been done and he is not contributing to my business. Okay. What would you do with these 3 workers? I mean, if I put it out there to you and I'll pause for 30 seconds. Okay. What would you do with these workers? I think we're on the same page to say the workhorse, the guy who is there for you, who is managing your business, who's putting in the time, you keep this guy. You pay him even more if you can. The second guy who's the lawyer, you need him. You need him once a year, but I don't think you need to be paying him every month. I think maybe you can have a conversation. I'll pay you in the month that I need you. Maybe even I pay you a little bit more. Or I'll pay you a little retainer every month to keep you in my book so that you'll always be there when I need you in February, but not as much as I'm paying you every month. And in the February month, I'll pay you a little bit more. That seems reasonable. What about that doctor? Well, I hope you must have said that, hello, this person has done the job. They're not working for you anymore. They need to go. Gone. So that was pretty easy, wasn't it? So now let's turn it back to our houses and our stuff. We know how to manage people. We know when somebody is not adding value in our business, when it's not profitable, when it's not worth our investment of money. So in our homes, it's the very, very same thing. We hire a worker to do a job for us. And if they're not doing the job, they need to go. So we have tons of workhorses in our houses. Think about it. The things you use every single day that show up every day and do the job for you without question, without fail. Examples of that. Oh, go into your kitchen, your plates, your forks, your dishwasher, your washing machine, your sink, your toilet, your shower. These are things in your house that show up every day. You ask it to do a job. It does the job. I'm supposed to have a shower twice a day, but if I need a 3rd shower, guess what? It's still working. I'm supposed to have 3 meals a day, but guess what? If my friends show up and I need my cutlery and my forks to do overtime, they are there. Hard workers. And how am I paying them back? Everything in your house doesn't work for free. You pay them back with your time, with your energy, with your space. So my cutlery, my forks, my plates, everything, I don't begrudge them the space that they take up in my cupboards. I need it. That space, that I'll give it to them. I don't begrudge the time it takes me to wash it, to put it away. Hard workers, I'll do it. And there are lots of examples like these where you need these things to have a comfortable life. We don't begrudge them. We just indulge and pay them as they need. We pay them overtime. We take even better care of them because we know that we need these things. So what about the seasonal workers? What kind of things are these in your houses? Well, what are the things that you don't use every day? You use them seasonally, every 3 months, every 6 months, every year. Christmas tree, for example, I use that once every year. Am I going to really pay it the premium in terms of my space? Well, definitely a Christmas tree is not going to be in the main cupboard that I pull out, that I put stuff in that I use every day. It's not going to be in an area where the real estate is valuable. In fact, my Christmas tree, once I'm done with it, it goes up to the loft where I do not see it. It doesn't take very much of my time and my energy. I don't have to move it around, to sweep around it, etc. It takes a bit of my space, but I'm willing to give it that little bit of space throughout the year so that for Christmas time it comes out, I can use it, give it the space and the time and the energy it needs, sweep up all the things that are falling in December. And then for the rest of the year, guess what? You go in a place where you use the little as I can pay you. And what I can give you is the space in my loft. That's all I can give you throughout the year. Other examples of this would be like, let's say, classic example, my dad. We have a tall house, 2-story house. And so every now and then somebody needs to go up to check the roof. It's not a standard ladder that's needed. It's one of these extra long ladders. And my dad borrows it from a neighbor when we need it. One day he's saying, I think I'll buy a ladder because I don't like borrowing. I want my own. And I thought to myself, yeah, that's a noble thought. But really and truly, that's a seasonal worker. You use it only once a year, twice a year. Why would you want to invest your time and energy to have to store this, to have to make sure it doesn't get rusty, to have to make sure nobody trips on it? This is time and energy that you're investing in something, and space. You have to find a place to put it when you're only going to use it once a year, once every 2 years. Have a conversation with your neighbors. I'm really appreciative of you lending me your ladder every year or every 2 years. Can I give you some money for it? That is so much better than paying your time and energy and your space throughout the entire year. For the doctor, I had to do a job for me. He did the job, I paid him, and somehow I still continue to pay him. Classic examples. That dress that you bought, that you absolutely loved 2 years ago, you wore it to your staff party, and now it no longer fits. It's just hanging in your wardrobe. It did the job once beautifully. You paid it well, you washed it, you gave it a space in your wardrobe. It doesn't fit you anymore. Having it there and continuing to pay the real estate in your wardrobe, the time it takes to push it aside every day to find what you want, it's not worth it. So why is it there? You understand? Lots of things like shoes, newspapers. I read this newspaper, I got all the stuff I wanted from it. It's no longer of interest to me, but it's still in my house. And so it's taking up space in my house. I'm paying it to space. It's also, anytime I have to clean, it's something that I have to move around or push somewhere, or it's taking up space. There are loads of things if you just walk around your house. As managers, be wary of workers who are constantly working, but their work is not adding to your business. So, classic example, you have a business, you have a worker who shows up every day, who's doing a job, but everything is wrong. His numbers are wrong. He's just getting you into trouble. Be wary that this person is doing a job, but it's not doing the right job, and you still need to let that person go. An example in my life is my television. It's doing a fantastic job, works when I switch it on, but the work it's doing, I'm not sure if it's adding value to my life because a lot of hours are going through into my TV. And so I'm thinking to myself, is this a worker that I really need around? It's doing the job, but I'm not sure if it's the job I need it to be doing. So that's one example. And another one I'm to throw in there is, so if 2 workers can do the job, if you have 2 good workers that can do the job perfectly, having another 2 hard workers, even if they were hard workers, but the job is being done by 2, then the other 2 are just using your money needlessly. And you have to think about, how many cups do I need? How many plates do I need? How many forks do I need? Because at some point in time, I need plates to eat. Yes. I need forks to eat. Yes. And I'm eating, etc. But there comes a point in time where that extra plate is not really adding value. In fact, if I were to take out half of these plates, you wouldn't miss them, number one. In fact, it might be easier because there are less plates to pull out, and which means I have less dishes to wash when it's time to wash, etc. So it's less work I'm giving myself if I have less of something. wanted to say it as simply as possible in terms of you've seen The Apprentice, you know what a good manager does based on the output of the workers. All I'm just trying to tell you is you're the manager of your house and you're managing the things in your house. And you treat them no differently than how you would treat a worker in your actual company. If they're doing a good job and they're adding value, you keep them and you pay them well. If they're not doing a good job, they're not adding, you get rid, you're fired. And if you are doing a good job, but I don't really need you all the time, then I pay you accordingly. I'm just hoping that this has allowed you to see your things in a different light, that things are only hired to do a job. And if they're not doing the job, you need to manage them accordingly. Thank you so much for joining me. It's really been lovely having a chat with you. I really wish you could talk back to me sometimes and have a one-on-one conversation, but that doesn't make sense. But this makes sense. Please leave a comment. I will respond to your comment. Leave a thumbs up if this is making sense. The content is resonating so I can keep making more. Thank you so much for joining. It's been lovely chatting with you. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye.